Hi, welcome to the Soul Mystery School. A deep dive into the Egyptian mysteries and into discovering yourself and applying the Egypt mythological archetypal explorations to everyday life and your own awakening and stepping into your own truth and authenticity. I'm Dr. Kathia Roberts, and I'm your facilitator, your teacher, your mentor. I'm a holistic doctor and a Neteru medicine woman, sound healer, and I'll be taking you on this sacred journey of harvesting and reclaiming your wholeness. So please enjoy this series that I've curated for you, traveling to each temple and also exploring the Neteru, and just be with what comes up for you at this time. And each time there's a deeper layer that you can explore. You can do the sessions as workshops individually, or you can do it as a whole series. So set an intention, create a sacred space, ask permission to enter this circle and the temple, and then enjoy the meditations in that space so you can get the most out of it. You can also create an altar or focal point, and we'll give some suggestions on that, on how you could do that to attune more to those frequencies. And please share this with your friends and colleagues and family members, and join me on a trip to Egypt so that you can experience this for yourself and really initiate and anchor it in. And thank you for being called and showing up for yourself. Take care and enjoy.
Christian, can you see these photos? Okay, so this is the Sphinx just before sunrise, and this is the most important time, the most potent time for energy to arrive at the Sphinx. So I just wanted to give you a feeling of that. And this is at the front of her paws. This is an altar of the High Holies, and the sun in the east that's rising up over that. And you know, my great friend Emil Shaker, he's an Egyptologist and a friend, and he said the Sphinx, the name of the Sphinx is called Shep's Ankh, which means a sun temple. So it's also honoring Ra, you know, and if you think the Leo season is very much fire, sun energy, right, in the summertime. And it's the one who brings life. That's what it means. And actually on the equinox, the sun, as it rises up there, hits and illuminates the face of the Sphinx. And when the sun originally rose here, this is the myth, the zodiac sign was in Leo. And the layout of this and the pyramid obviously mirrors Orion's belt, where, you know, Sirius is part of that. So this is just the Sphinx to show you a perspective from a different angle at a different time of day. And it was believed that the structures, this ruins in the front, is where the priests used to go and bring their offerings and be able to witness the Sphinx in its grandeur. And we're going to talk about that, you know, just witnessing the grandeur of the Sphinx. And being and seeing yourself merging with the Sphinx. So this is the back of the Sphinx. It's very interesting when you walk around, because this is all carved out of limestone. And part of this journey that I want to reiterate is that, okay, I hope that's not, but part of this journey that I want to reiterate is that it's using all your resources, right? I mean, everything they have there that was, and you know, it's believed that obviously this was at the time the biggest building of its kind, and it was all, nothing was transported there, it was all dug up there and used there. And also, as you can see on the side there, there's all these lines, and it's not just wind erosion, it's actually believed that it's water erosion. That's where the different theories come of how far it's dated back, that it's actually, you know, prehistoric, that it was even before the Ice Age, that those lands were frozen up and then it melted away. So the whole thing, and I'm going to show you Edgar Cayce, but this whole thing is this belief that there's these different chambers and different layers within the Sphinx. So this is the right paw. And actually this right paw is believed by Edgar Cayce, who was the sleeping prophet. He traveled there during his sleep, and he discovered that it's actually a hall of records. So there's the belief that it's the Akashic records, and then there's also the belief that it's the hall of records of the Atlantean records. And this is linked to the old civilization of Atlantis. And that this holds the keys and the knowledge of the universe and your higher self and the blueprint of your divinity. And that's why it was also Earth altar, and why people came there, because to connect us with our galactic family and the cosmos. I love this photo. It's just a nice plateau of Giza with the pyramids in the background. So powerful, and just show you the magnitude of that. So just imagine yourself going into the paws and being held by her there. You see, you like, when you stand there, you're not even half the size in length of how tall the paw is. It is absolutely huge. And there's just so much light and energy there. I love this one I took after our ceremony, and I loved how my third eye was activated there. So there's another one. There's like a tablet of prayers. And so the other thing with the Sphinx is there's different theories about the head of it. Theories that it was a lion, theories that it was Khafra, which was a reigning pharaoh in 2500 BC. So we're seeing more as the stature of power, and because it was linked, it had the body. Generally, it used to be the body of a human and the head of an animal. But in this case, according to some belief, Khafra wanted his head on there to show also at the time the feline religion was very prevalent. So was to show that, you know, he is the connection to the sky and to the gods, because pharaohs believed they were gods on earth. And so in order to be revered and respected for power was, you know, he carved his head out. But then there's pieces chiseled away. There's beliefs that it was also a jackal head, that it was linked to Anubis. So again, protecting this gateway. So there's been all these different theories of the headpiece as well. So just what comes in for me with journeying to this sacred portal is also, you know, how, with what do we identify our sacred purpose, and what headrest are we wearing? How do we want to be seen? But also not to let the ego take over the sacred vessel, you know, to kind of keep it in check. So that's something that came present to me. So this is just to give you kind of idea of the magnitude there. And this place, when you go there, it just feels, and this is what I want to bring through in the journey, it feels like a homecoming. It feels like a familiar place. I really feel, well, this is where I was able to connect with our spiritual brother from New Lith, Jeffrey. I had a huge journey and connection with him here, who departed very soon before I went there the first time. And also a great place where I connected with my other ancestors. So this is again the limestone ridge around it, so you could just see the layers there of how ancient this is. Just different times. So this is believed to be the doorway to the Hall of Records, to where all the information is held of the universe and our blueprint. And this is just the photo from the front. And then, I mean, you familiar with the Neteru, but for anyone else that's going to watch the recording, it's just, when I introduce the Neteru with my mentees the first time, I say to them, you know, have a look at, you know, what animals presence comes in. It might even just, it might be like an animal totem, because animal totems, Neteru stands for Neta, which is nature. So nature was really weaved into their spirituality and the way they related to the divine and these mythological archetypes. So I always say, like, see what animals come in and what, or even like signs or symbols or sounds, because all of it relates. And as you just shared, astrologically, there's astrological connections to each of these deities too. So we've explored Isis, and then there's Khonsu, and Seshat actually is also one of the guardians of the Akashic record. She is also a scribe connected with the sky. Sobak is the crocodile god. I really work with him a lot to heal shame. Similar energy as Sakmet for me when working with him. Osiris, one of the funerary gods, you know, of the underworld. We've talked about him last time. And Horus, his son, God on earth, similar to the Christ consciousness energy. Then Sakmet is really similar to Sobak, a devourer. Devourer, that lioness energy of like fierce, compassionate mother. Not like Isis is more the overall general nurturing mother, where Sakmet is tough love. Hathor for me is like, she's like the maiden. She's fertile maiden, the goddess of music. Set, god of the desert. So he is the shadow. He is the guy you're going to journey to explore your shadow side. I haven't worked that much with Tabaret yet. So the hippopotamus god, but a lot to do with water energy and fertility again. And then Amun-Ra, so he's part of the Ennead, which is like the overall family tree of the Egyptian pantheon. And Thoth is also a scribe, and Thoth will come in. I find him to be a messenger. Ptah, we're going to journey to Ptah in our next journey at Abu Simbel, but he's the creator god. He was married to Sekhmet. And then Ra is the, can you still hear me? That's still good. Ra, the sun god, sun deity, worshipped for a very long time as a solo deity for a long time. Mahat, truth and order. Oh, I want to sneeze. Sorry. Energy that needs to be released. And Shu is air, the air god. And Bastet is one of the feline goddesses, and she's also fertility and sort of like, you know, a temptress. And Khnum, he's also creator god. Anubis, he's, for me, he's like a gatekeeper, you know, and he's a, you know, shapeshifter as well. And actually, yeah, he can teach you, you know, soul retrieval, and also a funerary god, you know, underworld. And Nephthys is Isis's sister. So just so you have an introduction to that, that's the Egyptian gods family tree. Just so you kind of like, sort of like the main gods we start with, just so you have an idea. And this is Khafra. So as you can see that, you know, pharaoh head, I mean the nose, but it looks like it could be Khafra's head that was on the Sphinx. And this is Edgar Cayce, that's been journeying, the sleeping prophet, that's been journeying to the Akashic records, or the Hall of Records, the Atlantean records that's located in the Sphinx. And he was doing a lot of healings from there, the late Edgar Cayce. So this is sort of like an image of what the Atlantean civilization was like. So it's also one of these ancient civilizations that just disappeared, and there's a lot of links to different sacred sites to it, and a lot of links to Egypt too. So there's theories of the sunken Atlantis has, you know, Greek and Egyptian. So I'll show you another photo of that. You know, it's like the Hathor sign of, you know, the bull, Apis bull, and you know, and the sacred cow and the Hathor horns. And then I'm going to just talk about this link to Romania. So actually my paternal grandmother is Romanian, and this is the Sphinx in Romania. And I haven't traveled physically here yet, but it is on the Bucegi Plateau mountains, and it's believed that it was the first tunnel to Egypt. And there's a lot of chambers again down underneath inside the mountains there, and people pilgrimage there on November 28th every year. And apparently the way the sun shines, there's an energetic pyramid that forms over the Babel, which is the old, known as the old ladies. It's Ra's rays, and it's meant to be, have a lot of positive energy. You know, it's very energetically charged. And then there's these other formations, megalithic type, other sphinxes, smaller sphinxes. The Sphinx Stanosaura, Toplet, Piatra, Fiarsa, Solomon Stone, and Brotation. And the other thing is there's these great, they call it the Golden Triangle. And it was sanctuaries And it's very similar in the layout as the Egyptian, that triangle that's aligned with Orion's belt, with the pyramids and the Sphinx. So it's just very interesting, these correlations, and how this related to the ancient civilizations called the Dacians, which was their god was Zamolzis. It's a weird name. Yeah, so it's just very interesting, also connected with the galactic family. And so, and you know, a lot of alien conspiracies, you know, think this was like an alien-like civilization. So I just love how this is linked to sacred Egypt as well.
Just start connecting with your breath again. And as you hear this drum, it's sort of like a call, a calling back home, calling back to earth, our altar. This connection point between the heavens and the earth, as above, so below. Just a belief in Egypt. Everything is being mirrored above and below, just like the Nile Delta is also the shape and links up with the sky, with the cosmos, with the stars. So the Sphinx is also linked up with Orion's belt, with dog star Sirius that's rising, and the sunrise in the east. You can see the sunrise and grass rays lighting up the face of the Sphinx. Just have a look what this space looks like to you. Is it you? Is it who you meant to be? Your sacred purpose? Is it who you aspire to be? Maybe it shapes up in the face of a teacher, or a guide, or a prophet, or a protector. The Sphinx was indeed also symbols of protection. They guarded the gates. This is a gateway. It's a light tunnel, a light portal. One of the first tunnels connected with ancient civilization in Romania. So you can connect with that galactic family, with this ancient wisdom of the golden ages, when we were more connected with the divine. So this is a portal where we can definitely connect with that energy again. So just approach and ask if you can enter. You can enter the Hall of Records. This Atlantean library or the Akashic record, however it shows up for you. Just stand in front of the magnitude of this beautiful Sphinx that represents you and your power. Also shows what your foundations should look and feel like, the strength of it. It questions you. How are you creating your foundation for your temple, for the way you walk in life, for your divine blueprint? Maybe you'll receive answers about this divine blueprint and what your foundation, the base of your Sphinx should look like to hold your sacred purpose, to protect this path and this sacred purpose. You are now entering into her paws. You are standing there and you feel at home, you feel comfortable, you feel held, you feel witnessed by your ancestors in the Neteru. They are all there, they welcoming you and they want to work with you. They want to show you the way and share wisdom. You already have access to this universal library. You already know all the answers. It's just about trust. It's about opening your heart, keeping your heart open. We started that last session. And trusting in your inner knowing, trusting in the guidance and the wisdom you're receiving, trusting in the downloads that's coming in. You can see Thoth come in and Sachet, the scribes. And they are outlining your blueprint. They're outlining it for you so you can make sense of it. Because the other thing is all this information is out there, but because it's so beyond our human comprehension, we can't make sense of it. And that's where they can come in hand, because we can ask for guidance, we can ask for symbols, we can ask for sounds, we can ask for messages, we can ask for clarification. So anything that you've received in the past or you want to receive now, you can whisper it to Sachet and Thoth so they can scribe it for you. You are at the right place at the right time. This is a soul purpose, a soul alignment. And it's a place of exchange. As an altar, and as these are living portals and they want to be remembered and they want to be honored and they come alive. But they come alive to those that gives back as well, and seeing that we can connect with Father Gep and Mother Nut and the sky and the earth, as above, so below. We can draw that energy through this portal into ourselves, and then we can also give it back again. You can see yourself moving through different movements as the energy moves through you. And maybe you see in your mind's eye a gift that you want to offer. was believed that that Sphinx in the Romanian mountains was also used as a place of offering to the sky. Just to your collective family, what do you want to offer? Is there anything you want to whisper and say? Just with about the events that is unfolding for humanity right now as part of this ascension process. Just where you at and how are you aligning with your sacred purpose? And the Neteru is coming forward. See who comes in. It's telling you to trust. It's telling you to trust. Trust in Mahat, the divine order, balance and harmony. This is known as the bringer of life, the key of life. So you are being handed a key by your Neteru. The ones that's stepping forward for you, that feels they're ready to work with you right now. You are ready to receive their wisdom. So take that key. These keys are going to unlock a lot of wisdom, a lot of answers in these sacred halls of records. And you'll be able to access that information when you're ready to access it, when you've earned to access it, when you're responsible with that information. Also do a check-in with yourself. Are you willing to open yourself up to all this information, to receive this wisdom? Are you responsible with this wisdom? That you would use it in an integrous way to serve the Neteru well. And ask permission for you to continue on this journey and to work with these specific Neteru methodological archetypes that's coming in, that's mirroring certain aspects in you, or they are calling on you to grow in certain aspects of yourself, of your divine self. And as you meet them, just feel how your body falls out to the bottom. It's almost like you are shape-shifting into the Sphinx. Just feel how you're pulling from resources that's already there, making most with what's accessible, and you're building this beautiful, strong temple, this foundation, this structure. And this is a point you can return to this portal activation, this gateway, anytime, over and over again. Because as you do, you are firming up, just like over thousands of years, this tens of thousands of years, this was carved out of the limestone, changed, so you will be changed to your structure. So you can come and go deeper, you know, carve out another layer, make it stronger. See if the head, just like the stories around how the head has changed on the Sphinx, see if the head and what represents you and how you see yourself, if that changes each time you visit Sia. And as this is a collection point of the Neteru too, they are all assembling here because it is this portal to the divine and the cosmos, this altar space, where all the wisdom is kept. You can also travel and journey here to connect with the Neteru and ask, who should I work with now? Who should I deepen with? Who would like to be my teacher, my guide, my healer? What am I ready for? Just listen, see what they whisper. Just make a mental note of how that feels, how it feels in your body, where it resonates. Just let that wisdom sink in, and you will have time when you come out just to note any notes down so you don't forget, and that you can revisit this again and go deeper and ask more questions for more clarity. Just kind of like carry on your dream world where you left off when you're ready. And this is just a call to our galactic family. The wow bell, it's the bell of the collective. Sounds very alien-like. Oh, so just take a deep breath and just come back into this body, into this world. I mean, going to the Sphinx and some of these light portals can be very, and just take you totally somewhere else.